Hi everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Camila. Welcome to another English video in this YouTube account. I'm happy, very happy indeed, to join you in your English learning process. Tu inglés mejora hoy. And here we are to share more and new English information with you. But first of all, let me invite you to subscribe to this channel so we can stay connected and you don't miss anything. So our topic today is the past perfect tense in English, a very useful time tense that can be combined with other ones, so you can be more specific when you are telling an anecdote or when you want to order the event. So if you are ready, we are going to start. To kick off, we are going to talk about the structure, okay? The past perfect tense structure. So to create this sentence, you're gonna need, of course, a pronoun, the subject of your action. Then you are gonna use the verb have, always that one. You cannot put have or has because this is past perfect. So it is always going to be had, no matter which one is the pronoun. And then a verb in the past participle form. If you have in your mind the so famous list of irregular verbs in English, we are talking about the third column, the column on your right. Those are the verbs in the past participle form. Let me give you a quick example. The past participle of go, for example, the verb to go, is not going to be went, it's going to be gone. The past participle of the verb to be is not was or were, it's going to be been. And then if you are using verbs that are not on the list of irregular verbs, it's because they are, of course, regular. So you keep on putting ed to the end of these verbs, at the end of these verbs, and you have the past participle form. For example, play, played, stop, stopped, dance, danced, among others. And then we have the structure, the pronoun plus had plus the past participle. Let's go with the first sentence. The robbers had escaped when the policeman finally arrived. The robbers had escaped when the policeman finally arrived. There you go. Can you imagine why or when should we use the past perfect tense? As you can see in this example, we use it to be more specific about the order of the events in the past. So if you have an event in the past simple and also an event in the past perfect, that means that the event in the past perfect happened earlier. So if you have a chronological line, first you have the past perfect and then you have the past simple, after that you have the present tense. So it's a very useful time tense to use when you want to be very specific about the order of the events in the past. Another example. He hadn't spoken any Italian before he moved to Rome. He hadn't spoken any Italian before he moved to Rome. Again, the past perfect happened before the past simple. And now pay attention to this detail. What do you think? Can we change the order of the sentence? Of course we can. So it's gonna be something like, before he moved to Rome, he hadn't spoken any Italian. Before he moved to Rome, he hadn't spoken any Italian. Again, it's not important which one you put first in the sentence. What is important is the chronological order of the facts. So you have to be clear of which of the two events happened first, because that's the one that's going to be written in the past perfect. Are we clear up to this point? I hope so, because now I have a very significant tip to give you. If you have only one event in the past tense It doesn't matter how long ago it happened, you need to use the past simple. So if you have this sentence, I have attended a meeting yesterday, that's not correct. It should be I attended a meeting yesterday, the past simple. If you have only one event in the past, we don't use the past perfect tense. Let's see a couple of examples. When we arrived at the airport, we realized we had forgotten our passports. When we arrived at the airport, we realized we had forgotten our passports. She wore the red shoes she had bought the previous day. She wore the red shoes she had bought the previous day. I was happy to meet her because we hadn't seen each other for ages. I was happy to meet her because we hadn't seen each other for ages. My aunt bought me a lovely gift after she had spent the summer holidays with us. My aunt bought me a lovely gift after she had spent the summer holidays with us. I had switched all the lights off before I left the place. I had switched all the lights off before I left the place. Now check this out. You can use the preposition before plus the past perfect when you want to say that this past perfect action was incomplete when the past simple action happened. For example, sadly the author died before he'd finished the book. Sadly the author died before he'd finished the book. So first, he died, so he couldn't finish the book. That's the meaning. Another example. Someone left the place before I'd spoken to him. Someone left the place before I'd spoken to him. I'd spoken to him. I'd. Very important to learn how to use the contractions because native English speakers use contractions a lot because for them it's easier and it's faster as well when speaking. It is also very popular to use the preposition already with the past perfect tense in English. For example, when we got to the cinema, the film had already started. As you can see, the preposition already goes in the middle between the had and the past participle verb form. Another example. I'd already read that book before, but I decided to start reading it again last night. I'd already read that book before, but I decided to start reading it again last night. I was disappointed when I arrived at the party last night because most of my friends had already gone home. So, there we are. We have spoken about the past perfect in the English language and how useful it is when you want to be specific about the order of the events in the past. Most of all, when you are sharing an anecdote, for example, or when you are telling a story. Remember, you can use the prepositions before and already with the past perfect, that's very popular. And if you only have one event in the past, you don't use the past perfect. Remember, you need the past simple. It's a very good idea to start studying and memorizing the irregular verbs because the past participle of these verbs is going to be very useful for you from now on, not only on the past perfect time tense, but also on every perfect tense, like the present perfect or the future perfect, and also, for example, for the passive voice. So it's crucial, it's urgent, or it's a good idea, really, really good idea, that you start memorizing, studying this list of irregular verbs. That's all for today. I hope this lesson has been useful for you. I'm going to invite you again to subscribe to this channel so we can stay connected. Hope to see you soon. Bye.